2023 wasn't a good year for the Carolina Panthers, but I'm trying to make 2024 a better one for myself. Get started on your resolutions with Factor so you're ready for the new year. Factor's ready-to-eat meal delivery takes the stress out of meal planning and sets you up for success in the new year. Skip the grocery stores, prep work, and cooking fatigue. Instead, get chef-crafted, dietitian-approved meals delivered right to your door. With over 35 meals to choose from per week, including keto options, calorie smart, vegan plus veggie, and more, plus over 55 weekly add-ons, you'll have a ton of nutritious and flavorful options to kickstart your resolutions. Skip that overpriced takeout trap. Factor is cheaper and way more delicious than takeout. Get chef-crafted, restaurant-quality meals delivered right to your door, and they're ready to heat and eat in just 2 minutes, which means more time for you. Head to factormeals.com/C350 and use the promo code C350 to get 50% off. That's code C350 at factormeals.com/C350 to get 50% off.
Looking for a fun way to win up to 25 times your money this basketball season? Test your skills on Prize Picks, the most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. Just select 2 or more players, pick more or less on their projected stats, and place your entry. You could turn $10 into $250. Right now, Prize Picks will match your first deposit up to $100. Just visit prizepicks.com/fan and use code FAN. That's code FAN at prizepicks.com/fan. Must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for restrictions and details.
In a world where Carolina Panthers fans have an insatiable thirst for Panthers news and opinions, only one podcast roars ferociously. It's the C3 Panthers Podcast.
What is the deal, Panther fans? It's your boy, the Professor, a.k.a. Tony Dunn. It's the C3 Panthers Podcast, brought to you by CarolinaCatChronicles.com, where tonight's show is Kick in the Door, Wave in the 4-4. The Carolina Panthers, after sliding 3 games in what felt like a giant heartbreak, have defeated another division rival in what was sort of a back alley, jump out the trash can and stab you in the back and then run off with $5 like murder type game. The Carolina Panthers, I guess, waved a fake 4-4 at this team, but we got to win. We got to win. So at 500, we're here to discuss that and a lot more with all the best fans and all the best peoples and my man, Cody Lashney. How you doing, my friend?
Tony Dunn, what's up, brother? The Panthers are 500. We're at 4-4. Man, it seems like every week there's a brand new version of the Carolina Panthers for us to evaluate. But as always, you know there's nowhere I'd rather be on a Tuesday night than sitting here and hanging with my boys and hanging with the best Panther fans in all of YouTube. Tony, you know them and love them. It's AJ Lindsay, my man Drew, Brad Dugan, Brad Holt, the real Zero Chill, Fear the Panthers 1981, Justin, Joey the Blind Panther Esquivel, Tim Estes, Robbie Switzer, Tony Dunn. Ain't nothing to it but to do it, brother. Let's roll.
Tim said that Matt Rule is waving the BB gun. Is it a real 4-4? Is it the one with the little orange cap on the end? He threw that red flag, that challenge flag this week with gusto. I love it. You know what? I'm okay with this win. I know. I'm okay with this win. Not okay. Like what? Not upset. I'm very happy. A lot to talk about though when it comes to our quarterback. How we're going to progress forward with this offense, and maybe if Sam Darnold, people already questions about Sam Darnold. Good Lord. Now he's out. You're looking maybe at the best iteration of the Panthers offensive line in some ways. But then also some exciting things to talk about with Stephon Gilmore, Hassan Reddick, I'm wearing the Shaq Thompson jersey. CMC is going to come back, not this week, but next week. How will we keep up this running attack and this diversity? The Butcher. But before we get into all that, we got to welcome CK, the man with the sultriest voice on the internet, the bestest streaming voice around. How you doing, CK?
I'm doing well. The audio may be horrible, and I apologize.
It is not the bestest tonight.
Yeah, it's right now, guys. My internet has great download speed, but 0.04 upload, which is horrendous, and I don't know why. It's the entire neighborhood, so that's fine.
You do sound like robotic.
How bad is it? Is it worth staying on the podcast?
It's pretty shaky. You sound like you're in the upside down.
How about is that if you want to stay, you can. If you want a night off, this might be the one to take it.
I mean, I could always do this.
All right.
Your phone might work too. Whatever you want to do, brother.
Yeah, that might be better. Anyway, yeah, definitely, dude. We want to have you here. We want you in the car. We ain't dropping you off on the corner on the way back from the game. But it is robotic, hypnotic. Go ahead. Well, we'll let Cody or CK find another way to join or decide what he wants to do.
There's that handsome bastard.
There he is.
Look at that. Holy cow.
Dude,
all
our
right.
cell phone's awesome.
I know.
Yeah, buddy.
Tonight's show, Waving the 4-4. You can be a part of it. Numbers 252-228-5098. We'd love to hear your takes on this Carolina Panthers team advancing to 500 after what was a long slide, a skid. But beating the Atlanta Falcons makes it feel a little bit better. Defense kind of bring us back, right? Like, as in, we knew that was the linchpin of the team, but as usual, the woes of the offense are still there. But nice to not be losing now. All right, we want to hear your thoughts on the Panthers projections, guys. Let's go ahead, smash the thumbs up button, subscribe, do all of that. We're gonna mute CK as he's getting set up. Cody, you can unmute him when he is set up. Tonight's show, dude. Some of the things I think we want to talk about now, obviously, are the Panthers moving to 500. The trade deadline's come and gone, and really the Panthers didn't have any involvement on the sell or the buy and really wasn't a lot of movement overall other than the Von Miller story, the Ingram guy. Like, it wasn't like any blockbuster stuff other than that. Where are you at 2 days later?
2 days later, I think that like I said in the intro, we're kind of at that usual point in a Panthers season where it's far too late in the season, where normal teams would normally be figuring out who they are. But yet here we are. The Panthers are still figuring out our identity as a football team. Matt Rule said for seemingly 3 weeks in a row that the Carolina Panthers were going to be a run-first football team. And we were going to be dominant up front and run the football. And, we really didn't do that too much against Philadelphia or the Giants. We forced it a lot throwing the football. Most of us picked against our own Panthers. We thought that we were going to lose to the Falcons. We thought that we were going to be a get-right game for Atlanta. But it turned out to be the other way around, Tony Dunn. We really found a rhythm. I think it was the best performance by our offensive line yet this season. We've all been very critical of them, but they played well. They played well against the Falcons. And knowing that we're going to have Christian McCaffrey coming back at some point here in the future, I mean, listen, if you're going to have some bumps in the road, I'd rather have them early on and potentially find your stride now going forward and, be able to string off a couple of good victories in a row. The problem is we're going to be without our starting quarterback, Sam Darnold. Left with the concussion. We don't know what his timetable is.
You thought the team was bad before. Now you lost the worst quarterback in the league. Now how terrible you're going to be.
All the PJ Walker defenders are going to have to really bring that noise because it's looking like our man PJ might have an opportunity.
Walker, it's not a defender. It's a cheerer. Like we're hoping. Like you kind of always root for the little guy, the undrafted dude to make it. I mean, it's kind of the Jake Delhomme story in a way. So I was just thinking about a couple of days later, were we really? I don't know if we thought I was wondering if I thought the Panthers were a get right game, or if I just had to say this is that I don't have any evidence to pick them other than just hope that it could happen. You know, I mean, like, and the defense, I think, came and played a game that they hadn't played for the last 3 weeks. Right?
Yeah.
And the injection of Shaq Thompson back into this lineup was giant. He had a giant game. In fact, if you look at, I guess we're going to have to skip ahead to that because I never know what the order of any of this is going to be. The Falcons have 50 offensive plays today, according to Josh Klein from the Riot Report. And Shaq Thompson had a tackle on 10 of them, which is 20%. And
loving it, man.
Another, which means like he was involved in 23 or 23% of the plays.
You want to hear something even crazier?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Shaq Thompson was the second highest rated PFF player in the entire league this week.
Holy cow.
Yeah, yep. Second behind. And wasn't Sam Darnold their highest rated quarterback, which is kind of insane. That's kind of what makes people call PFF into question sometime.
Right.
Yeah, look, man, I think this is consistent with what we've been saying all year about Shaq Thompson. Before he got hurt, before he was injured, we were all, heaping praises on him. And rightfully so, man. I think that number change is apt. He's playing with a renewed sense of self, I feel like. I said during the postgame show, I'm seeing a lot of Thomas Davis and Shaq Thompson's play. And that was someone that he played next to for a very long time. Dude, he's shooting gaps with vengeance. He's really mindful of where the play is going. And he has been the real linchpin of our defense. And I think that when you put him and Stephon Gilmore on the same team, I mean, look, man, Stephon Gilmore, the Panthers are undefeated in a game where Stephon Gilmore has an interception. So, dude, I'm loving it, man. I think that our defense is getting healthy at the right time. J.C. Horn still has the potential to come back at some point this year. Hey, man, we might be getting healthy at the right time.
When it comes to Stephon Gilmore, it is nice. Like, I mean, adding that caliber of player is tremendous. I went and looked at the snap counts, though. I was right in the post game. Like, it wasn't like he was out there the whole game, which in some ways lends to how important or like kind of what the argument a lot of people have been making, specifically Cody Lashney, about how J.C. Horn was so important to the defense and allowing them to do different things is he played 17 plays, Gilmore, which is the same amount of plays that YGM played. So YGM did have a sack, right? But I don't think we were all like looking at the field, looking for YGM's number on those 17 plays. We were looking for Stephon Gilmore's. And what I think that he did make a significant impact in his debut and I don't think it's just I don't think the interception was actually probably YG. Somebody was pressuring him like crazy. Might be who, I don't remember who was doing it. But the Matt Ryan was flat. He never had his feet in that game. he seemed nervous even when the pocket wasn't awful. But this defensive front got a ton of pressure. In fact, I think we saw a lot of stats floating around recently about that, right? Oh, is this let's see who gets the pressure. Is it Brian Burns? Somebody get it's Brian Burns and somebody shooting up the middle. Who is it?
So this is Brian Burns.
Brian Burns is 53, right?
Yeah, Brian Burns is 53.
It's this. Look at it's not Louvu. Oh, is that Shaq? 9. That might be Jermaine Carter. No, 9 is Shaq or Jermaine Carter.
9 is Gilmore.
Yeah, well, that's not 9 then. Who is it? 4.
Carter.
Yeah, that's Jermaine Carter Jr., who's also played very well this season.
He hasn't been bad. But you know what is that? So if someone says Louvu diving, Carter diving, I think it's Carter.
Yeah, it's Carter.
And I think Louvu is the one that's jumping up, maybe, or anyway,
the guy diving is number 4. That's Jermaine Carter Jr.
So that's very important right there to that interception. Anyway, I think that you've been spot on about what it allows you to do in the secondary that then affects and helps the front 4 and vice versa. They're all interrelated. And I think adding Gilmore, if that's how he played, and I think was it Josh Klein that put this up? Maybe I got one. No, is that like I saw that Gilmore was man-to-man on 6 or 7 plays, and Pitts had 1 catch for nothing. So nice to have that. I guess that we'll have to talk about this later in the show. Is all of a sudden who are we gonna have to prioritize and keep when it comes to free agency? Let's go back to this though. I don't know. Do you want to talk about running the ball, or do you want to talk about this? If we talk about free agency, I would say this is that we might have to remember too. Hassan Reddick is on a 1-year deal. He's playing for pennies, bro. Hassan Reddick is playing for like $7 million this year.
Not much at all.
And he's got 7.5 sacks. He had a 20% pressure rate. He has not been a liability that it seemed anywhere in the run game. He's been sensational. Look at this. I mean, he's what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th in the league in sacks and not far behind.
Is any of those? I think he's number 1 in the NFC. He's the highest in the entire NFC.
He is. Because Myles Garrett at 10.5. How does Myles Garrett have 10.5? Jesus.
Because
and
he's a monster.
What's also funny is that the Cardinals dude who had 5 sacks in 1 game isn't even on this list. He's not even on the list.
He also had COVID for a little while.
Did he?
Missed some time. Yeah, he missed some time. But you know what, Tony Dunn, what I think is interesting about this conversation with Reddick, I think we're thinking about it too much. We are going to sign Reddick for more money after this season, because one of the things that I think we have to yeah, we are. What player? And see, this is the point that I was going to make.
Well, what do you pay him?
We've all been assuming. Well, let me tell you why it doesn't really matter, because we've all been assuming that DJ Moore and Brian Burns were going to have these legendary years this year, and that we would potentially want to pay either one of those guys earlier than we had to pay them, which would have therefore made them a bigger priority than Hassan Reddick. But I think all 3 of us, and even people in the chat room, can say that has not been the case.
With certainty, we can all say that.
Yeah, both Brian Burns and DJ Moore have had some struggles this season, some very warranted criticisms of the way that they play. DJ Moore with some effortness and not blocking down the field and even his own fair share of drops, although not to the degree of Robbie Anderson. And then Brian Burns with all those near misses, one after the other. Neither of those guys are commanding of top dollar right now. Another thing, Tony, if you look at our free agent list, Stephon Gilmore, Matt Paradis, and Hassan Reddick are the top 3 guys at the top of our free agent list. So listen, if Brian Burns and DJ Moore are going to be forced to wait another year, which I think might be what's going to happen anyway, to me, it's not even a question. I think we're going to sign Hassan Reddick, and I could easily foresee a scenario where they want Stephon Gilmore to be a part of our future, our team going forward and the build of our defensive backfield. So, yeah, I don't think it's a matter of how, but when the Panthers signed Reddick.
I hope we can afford him because at this point, I feel like he's going to ask for $1 billion. In fact, let me see if I can.
Yeah.
I mean, look at this.
I mean, you got to think about it.
Hold on. Hopefully this works.
Like we want to get fixated on his sack count. Like he has been more than even just that. Like that's why I think he's going to break the bank, with whatever his is, because he has been a cornerstone in how our defense has played against the run. He has been, I don't want to say he's been locked down in coverage, but he hasn't been a liability in coverage. Like, dude's going to get paid this offseason, or as they say, he might get tagged.
Go back. That would be the rudest thing you could do.
Which one? Do what now?
To franchise tag on
Hassan Reddick.
I don't think that would be rude, bro.
Yes, it would.
Dude, you're talking like that would be a
12-sack season, played on a friendly deal with.
But that's the exact type of person you would
trying to make. Saying this is, I believe in giving you guys giving me the right opportunity. You finding me the right fit to show out. He has showed like he could stop playing right now and sign a 4-year deal. like if he just sat out the rest, like had this 7.5 sacks in what 8 weeks, and all the pressures, the fumble recoveries, this dude's been all over the place. If you franchise tag him and give him a 1-year deal, he makes 20. What he would make the average of this, so he'd probably make 25 million, or 23 million. See,
that's a pretty damn good payday,
It is for 1 year though, and then say if I am that player, I'm saying this: if I roll my ankle and have a 6-sack season, or I blow my knee out and have a 2-game season, years 2, 3, and 4 gone, homie.
I mean, yeah, I would. It would be
rude. The franchise tag can be used in.
I don't think we will. I think if we're going to use the franchise tag, I don't know. Maybe even Donte, if we're not willing to let him go. I don't know. It just depends, man. I think it's almost even too early in the season to say exactly, who will get paid, how much, and when. What I do think is this, though. I would love for Hassan Reddick to be a part of our team in the future. And I think, especially if he has another 10-plus sack season this year, man, if I was a general manager, I would love to sign 3-year contracts, front load it for the first year or two. Then you can move on from them, or you can trade them, cut them off a little bit of money right now, and then kind of you seal up your defense.
But that is the smarter way for everybody to negotiate their contracts.
I'm telling you, I should be the GM.
It really is that the back end helps the team. The front end helps everybody. Right, so it's kind of bait for the team because they get to put off payments, so you can get a guy that you can woo him with an extra $10 million that you really probably shouldn't be spending. But since you can spread it out and probably cut him and get out of some of it, you do it. But the front load is kind of good for a team in some ways because it says this is we believe in the move we're making.
Yeah.
Enough to
Right.
just say put our money where our mouth is. And for the player, in some ways, is as long as the deal is not too short, kind of a sweet spot, it gives them an opportunity to sign another contract. So if you're Hassan Reddick and you could sign a 5-year deal where it's like super cool, it sounds awesome, but years 4 and 5 are kind of funny money. And it's really a 3 or 4-year deal, not a 4 or 5-year deal. It's kind of cool if like somehow you survived the contract and you collected every dollar, but that's like improbable. But what would be really cool is if you signed a 3-year deal and in year 2, you still had 10 sacks and you're ready to sign another deal in year 3 where you get another, like, and that point you hit inflation rates, you know what I'm saying? And then it's like you sign a 2-year deal, another 2-year deal in 3 years is substantially better than a 2-year deal now, I guess.
Yeah, well, I mean, even the front loading part, really, that's a reward for him being our best pass rusher right now, which he hands down is. Right now, he means more to our team.
He's like one of the best in the league, dude.
Yeah,
like
and listen, I'm not trying to belittle Brian Burns. I think that he's done a good job this year too, but I think, frankly, right now, Hassan Reddick means a little bit more to what we do. Michael Jones, with the love bomb of 199, says, "What would we do with Donte Jackson?" And again, man, it's like we would love to be able to say right now what we would do with one player or another, but I don't know what we'd do with Donte Jackson simply because he's such an important part of what the Panthers are doing right now. I mean,
thought he
so
played
much
sensationally in this past game.
Yeah,
he was fantastic in this past game, and I think this season has been arguably his best season. And I know it's not like if you just measure it in interceptions, like I was just measuring Hassan Reddick's season in sacks, which I don't think is a good the only measurement. I just think Donte has been very good all around, run game, tackling. You saw him making big plays. He's been a leader. He's another guy that's not going to come cheap.
Right.
And you know what? Is that he's doing what he deserved. He did. Like, if you're a player and you're trying to succeed in the league and make as much money as you possibly can, this is what you do. You play fantastically when it matters. And I got to give Donte credit. After all the people wrote him off, after Ron Rivera put him in the doghouse,
he answered. Dude, he's stepped up. We've seen him grow and get better as a football player in front of our very eyes, you know? And again, I feel like as sad as this is to say, right now with the way the Panthers have built their defense and trading for Gilmore, someone who already lives in the Charlotte area. Kenneth was in the chat room earlier saying his wife said that he lives in the Charlotte area and he doesn't want to go anywhere. So a lot of people are already speculating that, he'd be willing to take a pay cut potentially to stay here. Then you look at, we have C.J. Henderson on a rookie contract, J.C. Horn on a rookie contract. I can't say whose name.
C.J. Henderson. I want to hear his name. It's his name is inactive on this podcast. It's inactive.
And except for right now, listen, he is a part of our team. He's a part of our long-term future. And I think, sadly enough, that means Donte is the odd man out in that scenario. But I don't want to move on from him just yet.
He's going to be a
he's
saint.
Simply one of our best defensive players. He's playing his best football right now. And the Panthers need him now more than ever, man. Donte is a critical piece of our defense right now.
You're absolutely right. If he's not here, he is definitely going to the Saints next year. I don't.
Oh, look, somebody said he's from New Orleans. Oh, man.
He is. He is from New Orleans. He was LSU.
I just had a feeling.
But here's the thing: is I don't think that they can afford any free agents. They're $50 million in the hole already for next year. So they've got to make some major moves in order to be able to have some room.
We'll talk about CJ Henderson being inactive. We got to talk a little bit about the running game and some different things. The number's 252-228-5098. We'll be talking about the return of Christian McCaffrey. We want to hear your thoughts. The Panthers now hitting 500. Who should we extend? Well, Donte Jackson being New Orleans Saints. Are we on top of it already? I think we were. And we have barely talked about it, but the worst quarterback in the league, who is the most important quarterback on our team, has a concussion. And now we're panicking. We were panicking with him at the helm. Without him at the helm has also been problematic as well. Cody, shame these. Actually, because he doesn't have the things, but make him shame some people.
Yeah, CK, you may not be on your computer with all the fancy bells and whistles, but that voice is still sultry, even over a cell phone, baby. And we've still got a bunch of weird freaks in the chat room who like to be shamed. So do your thing, Big Papa.
Guys, we're coming off of a victory week. We're talking about the Panthers. We possibly could be getting back CMC. We're getting better as a defense. And you're watching the show because we're giving you the greatest content you're going to find about the Panthers on YouTube, on podcasts, out there. And you haven't hit that like button yet? I have one thing to say to all of you. Subscriber shame.
Subscriber shame. 113 people watching. 52 thumbs up. Do like my man CK and like my man Trill1 have instructed you to do. Hit the thumbs up. Hit the notification bell for every single time we go live. And hit the subscribe button, man. That helps us to grow the channel and get us in front of more Panther fans just like you, man. So that's all we ask. That's all we ask.
Smash the thumbs up, folks. And call into the show, 252-228-5098. Let's jump into some cat calls and see what you guys want to talk about.
So what are your thoughts on catcalling?
Yeah, it's pretty you shouldn't do that to somebody.
And how did that make you feel?
Very uncomfortable.
So how do you think catcalling makes the person feel?
It feels good, like.
Who's that cat sitting in the back corner with his face buried in the snow? Who's that kid that can use one?
Panthers Podcast, my brothers, how y'all doing? Hey, man. I just
What up, G?
See that we signed some dude named Love to the practice squad. I don't know nothing about this damn dude. I know he's a quarterback and everything like that. And holy moly, I played New England this fucking weekend. And honestly, if we stayed with the same game plan we did last time, controlling the damn clock, we're running the ball with 3 different types of damn running backs and get the fullback involved, I can see us pulling this damn win out. I mean, the trade deadline is in a couple of hours, man. By the time you guys hear this is going to be over. But to me, something has to happen, y'all. I mean, Carolina, we have to damn do something, man, if we want to win. And I'm speaking on all the fans, and probably you guys too. I want to fucking win, y'all. Our team is too damn good to be having a 4-4 record. I'm glad we're 4-4. I'd rather be 4-4 than 3-5 or whatever. Something has to fucking give, man. I mean, good old Scotty Motti pulled some strings and some players came. And the deadline is in a couple hours, man. We're gonna see what's gonna happen, man. Me personally, I want Cam Newton back. I don't care what nobody says. I want him back. In my opinion, there's other quarterbacks out there that can get taken, like Tyrod Taylor. What's that quarterback's name? Play for Oregon, the Hawaiian dude. I think he played for Oakland or something like that.
Mariota.
Mariota. whatever quarterback we damn get, whatever. Hopefully he can scramble really good due to our O-line. But give me your thoughts on that. And hey, man, you got New England this weekend. Hey, we can pull this out, man. Have faith, y'all. Keep pounding.
Tony, that's something that we really need to talk about. Bill Belichick is known for how many times he wins against rookie quarterbacks. And I mean, listen, PJ Walker might not be a rookie, but man, imagine somebody who doesn't have a ton of experience having to make their start against a Bill Belichick-led defense. Dude, that's a tall task, man. And part of the reason why I think that we as Panther fans were hopeful was because if you look at our next stretch of games, outside of the Cardinals, we played Washington and Miami, and the Patriots have been okay up until this point, but nothing to write home about. Those were the 3 games that we need to win the most. And the fact that we're going to go in there without Sam Darnold, oh, man, I don't know how to feel about
Maybe
that.
It's a good thing. Maybe it's a good thing. I wonder what Sam Darnold's record against Bill Belichick is.
Probably 0.
Yeah, he's probably played he probably only played him one time each season because he was hurt the other time. That's what they're now, because Darnold hasn't played a full season yet. Like he averages like 13 games or something, which isn't that few when you think about it, playing on a shitty team that's not going to make the playoffs. Right. Anyway, He misses like 3 games. He plays a little bit more than Christian McCaffrey.
Fair enough.
Are we going to be all right just to run the football?
Probably 0-3 against Belichick.
Are we just going to run? I mean, does the song remain the same, guys? Are we just, now that our O-line is pass blocking better and we have a new, I know you put up that tweet of Josh Klein talking about our running back snaps and how we were able to kind of divvy them up proportionately between Chuba Hubbard, Amir Abdullah, and Royce Freeman. If that's a recipe for success, then maybe we're doing the same thing with PJ Walker, and it doesn't really matter too much that Sam Darnold is out. I mean, how realistic of a take is that?
I don't think it. Look, we haven't scored but like 6 points in 3 weeks. This offense. I mean, think about it. Like, man, we have barely put up any points. So it's not like you're losing some sort of crazy offensive productivity. Number one.
True.
Number two, I tell you this is I went and watched the Patriots game against the Chargers because I had the worst week in picks. I go on this radio station and we just pick straight up. We don't pick against the spread, just win, and we keep up with them all season. And I had the worst week I've ever had. And I tried to pick some flyers. I thought it was being cool and stuff. But one of the ones I was surprised about was that the Chargers lost to the Patriots. Road game by 3. They lose by 3. I mean, you can look at the box score and say that there were some the 2 interceptions. But I was watched probably 3/4 of the game today. And Mac Jones, he didn't do anything like make any giant mistakes, like throw picks or whatever, but he also had 0 touchdowns. He was like 18 for 36. He threw 50% or less of his completions. It wasn't all on him, but a lot of it was. They were like, God, he threw it at his feet. He threw it in the stands. He did all this.
And Justin Herbert threw some interceptions to that defense too.
Yeah.
Had threw it to a timely pick six.
I'm not scared of their offense. In fact, I think our defense probably matches up well against our offense. So I actually feel all right with trying to run it and getting ahead a little bit and put Mac Jones in a tough spot.
Yeah.
But let's go back to the call real quick though, because the call did want to know about obviously with the Darnold. Is there a chance that Darnold comes back this week?
I haven't heard any news saying that he will for sure, that he won't.
But like is not entirely ruled out. Number one.
Right.
I haven't heard that yet, but it does feel like everybody jumped on the PJ Walker bandwagon. But who is this Josh Love kid?
Yeah, Josh Love.
And does it even matter?
No, he is a former San Jose State quarterback. We picked him up off of the Rams practice squad. And listen, I don't know much about him other than the fact that he's not going to help us do anything, really. I mean, maybe he will, maybe he won't. But, I mean, listen, if we're having to rotate second and third string quarterbacks, it's not going to be good. And it just means another season where we're going to kick the quarterback can down the road a little bit further. Another thing that I predicted,
I think PJ could play well. Like, I think he could. To be honest, I felt that I've been a little disappointed by PJ's play. Not a little, a lot. Like, I don't even think it's representative of what we've seen him do in the past. So I don't know if he hasn't gotten any reps, if they've thrown him in crazy places. I don't know. But last year, he looked way better and way more prepared when he came in. And I wouldn't say he just doesn't look consistent. He looked unprepared for the situation, for the moment. And I kind of think that lends to the coaching staff a bit. And maybe of how much attention they're paying Sam Darnold, who was struggling like a motherfucker, who they also benched, bro. They benched him. So you're trying to tell me you're going to bench a guy and you probably had PJ Walker in the corner.
Right.
They were probably.
My thing is that neither guy has shown a lot of consistent level of play for an expanded length of time. And listen, everybody has been talking about PJ the Walker Wonder, and PJ has so many fans that think that he's going to come out.
Yeah,
and
because we're rooting for the little guy. Like, why aren't you rooting for the little guy?
Because he hasn't shown anything to prove.
Podcast that take over the.
He has not shown anything to prove that he's a franchise caliber quarterback, and I'm not going to start sniffing the daisies and believing it now. I mean, maybe he'll do okay. I think right now,
we're saying
I think that the only thing that you want him to do, I'm not against him. I want him to be able to take care of the football, which is something that he doesn't do well. Even for the brief time that he was in against Atlanta, he almost threw an interception in the red zone, as he's been known to do. I think he has to take care of the football. And listen, if he can run the offense and hand off the football and run the football and just play safe overall, yeah, he can do the job. But PJ Walker is not going to come and win us the football game. He's not going to be the answer going forward. He's not going to compete with Sam Darnold to be the starter. We don't live in La La Land, bro.
Yes, he is.
No, the fuck.
No, he's not. He is not.
No, he's not.
There's no shot.
Is this another Demir Bird moment for you, man? Come on.
First of all, this is a me not being sold on Sam moment. Number one.
Right.
Sure.
Number two is that, like, don't give me the franchise thing mess. Of course not. That's not what anybody was thinking. And if anybody thought that with Sam Darnold, then we're also living in La La Land. Is that it's a wait and see thing. But yeah, I am kind of rooting for the guy who's kind of like the discount bargain Mike Vick. Like, that's what I want him to be. Like he's like the Dollar Tree Mike Vick.
He's like the drug addict Mike Vick, dude. He's like a super downgrade.
It's just rude.
He's like the heroin addict Mike Vick. What are you talking about?
That is so rude.
It's a little bit.
Dude,
a little bit, but
I've never what is it? What's going on? Who pissed in your Cheerios, bro?
Oh, that man probably runs a 4.9. What are you talking about?
Dude, look, Joey's still PJ Walker. Oh my gosh.
You have eyes like Joey the Blind Panther Esquivel, Tony Dunn. If you're comparing him to Michael Vick, come on. Man.
I said I want him to be the discount version of that, which is a guy that had look. All right, how about this? Let me defend my take. And you know what? Is that people in the chat, and not the chat, the live chat, but the comments afterwards, people always coming after me. And they said this past week, somebody said, "Oh, you're so pessimistic. Listen to this curmudgeon-y this dude right here. Cody's upset. You know what I'm saying? Like me, I'm sitting here rooting for the guy that's the undrafted free agent. This is very much the similarities I see between a PJ Walker and a Mike Vick. Cannon of an arm, mobile quarterback, undersized.
Mobile? What does mobile mean? Is he a dual threat, or he can just extend the pocket?
Dude, he can run. You don't think he can?
Yeah, I mean, he can run to the outside. He's not taking off.
You don't think he's more? What?
No, dude, he's not a runner. Dude, he's not. He wants to throw the football because he has that cannon of an arm.
Are we talking about the same person? PJ.
Yeah,
Walker.
we need to get Tim Jenkins back in here. He'll tell you.
No, he won't. He's going to be all on his boy.
I don't know if it'll prepare him to Michael Vick or a discount Michael Vick. To me, he's like wow. He's like a strict corner Michael Vick, in my opinion.
What? Cody is like totally.
I'm just being real, man. I mean, let's not put lipstick on a pig.
This is G. Cavassier once again. Hey, y'all. I saw something that just popped up today on TV. Odell Beckham wants out of damn Cleveland. Now, I'm hearing that Cleveland is not willing to trade him. But to me personally, I say we give up damn Robbie.
Too late.
Call him.
Get Odell Beckham, man. I mean, that motherfucker is a good wide receiver. Yes, he's a damn diva, but so was Chad Johnson. He was a diva too, and he fucking produced. He produced. He ain't win any damn playoff games till we went to New England. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Everybody know that, you know what I'm saying? But hey, send Robbie Anderson over there, to Cleveland, and we give up like a damn 2024 third rounder for his ass.
All right. Well, put that boy I guess thanks, G, for the call. We didn't get the trade deadline in. This would be the time, I guess, to ask what you think about Odell's dad's criticism about. First of all, I think one thing is I don't think Baker Mayfield is all that great. Number one.
No.
Number two, he is coming off. I'm going to give him some slack, not because he's a discount Trent Green. Who was the Trent? I'm trying to think of an old quarterback that reminds me of him. He's way too tall. Anyway, maybe a Dilfer. I was thinking about the guy. He used to play for the Chiefs, and he was kind of a statue. He was a little taller, though. Trent Green. I thought it was Trent Green was his name. Anyway, that's not the point. I want to give Baker some slack in this past week because he's like throwing with a shoulder that doesn't work. I didn't watch the plays.
His non-throwing shoulder, though.
Oh, is it? And is that he doesn't have, and like that's been my it's not my criticism. He doesn't have rocket cannon of an arm. He's and also neither does Mac Jones. Who's got the better arm, Mac Jones or Baker Mayfield? And I was right. Kevin's right. I was Trent Green. Thank you. Sometimes a broken clock is right twice a day.
Would you ask me who has a better arm, Baker or Mac? I mean, I don't know. I think that honestly, they're they're similar types. No,
you got an opinion on everything, bro. You just told us.
Yeah, they both have good.
Don't work.
They both have good, not great arm talent. I think they, when you build an offense around them, I'd say maybe Mac by a bit, but I mean, either way, man, I don't think that I don't know. Why are we talking about Odell Beckham? We're not going to sign Odell Beckham.
Well, it's too late. It's too late.
Yeah, it's too
so
late.
it's irrelevant.
Not
we're
gonna
talking
happen.
about Mac Jones. We're talking about Mac Jones. We're talking about what happens when your dad comes to your rescue. And you know what? I don't got a problem with this. Is that if my kid was in the NFL, I'd be coming to his rescue like a motherfucker too. In fact, Zay Jones, who's a former ECU Pirate. His dad, Robert Jones, who is in the Hall of Fame, who used to play on the Cowboys and won all them Super Bowls, he got his sons back all the time on Twitter. And if I was a kid, I want my parents to be
advocates.
Supportive. Yeah, yes. Exactly. So I don't even hate this moment.
Unless you're the Ball family, then maybe not have your dad involved.
Yeah,
in this.
that's like an exploiter. But you should also thank him. You should also thank him.
I like that dude. I don't think he's done anything wrong. And his sons are famous and they're ballers.
They got there.
Yeah.
We started at the bottom.
How can you hate on that dude?
And also, he played for
the Panthers.
The Carolina Panthers.
I heard he's better than Michael Jordan. He could take him one-on-one, bro. That's just what I heard.
Yeah. And you know what? He's probably so mobile. And
let me tell you what, though. Melo Ball, who plays for the Hornets, he's like the talk of Twitter, man. He's a badass. And got people watching Hornets basketball again.
All right, next call.
What's going on, C3 Nation? It's your boy Jay Anderson, hitting y'all up.
Jay.
On Sunday,
the Braves winning.
I mean, with the whole game, man, I wish it does nothing for me. I still want Matt Rule fired. I still want him gone.
Fired.
Today, I was hoping that they will make a big trade with Donte Jackson to trade him because I think Carolina needs some picks. Obviously, we don't have a second round and we don't have a third round pick. And it's real important to get those picks. I understand everybody's talking about, having a first round pick, but it's real important to have that second and third round pick. And stuff like that. So I was really hoping, I think this DJ last year, so I think that was an opportunity. Now they probably did try to shop him. Nobody probably wasn't buying him or stuff like that. But I think this was a real good time to really ship him and stuff like that. So other than that, yeah, this is I think it was this anniversary of that whole Monday Night Football game with the Colts. Just want to know what y'all memory of that game, that Monday night game in 2015.
Oh,
I know number one is Ted Ginn dropping that pass in the rain and stuff like that. Well, other than that, what y'all memory, what y'all at the game and stuff like that. How y'all feel about that game?
Was that the slow start game where?
Yeah, and it was raining too. We were winning, and they ended up coming back to tie the football game.
You talking about the Colts?
That Colts.
That was at that game.
Yeah. I remember you said you were there with a friend of yours, right?
Yeah, we were there, and another buddy was there that I didn't know was there at the time. But yeah, that was one of my all-time favorite games, man. I was super happy to come out and watch that one live. It was pretty cool.
I remember that drop pass.
What did you like about it? 29-26. The Carolina Panthers were 7-0, or moved to 7-0.
You know what I liked about it? I like that
25.
Luke. I like that Luke interception there in overtime that won us the game.
3 picks. Andrew Luck had 3 picks.
One in overtime.
Kind of odd, man. Is Andrew Luck like one of the oddest story? Yeah. This is an intriguing story. One of the most intriguing stories in NFL history.
Career cut short. Yeah, for sure.
But by choice.
I mean, it in the same way that Luke Kuechly's was by choice. His body just couldn't continue to hold up to it. I don't think either of those guys wanted to play football. No, but then he started having another calf injury, and he felt himself going through the same process over and over, and his body just couldn't hold up to the rigors of football. So, I mean, that's how it was with Andrew Luck. I always remember being so mad at the comparisons because everybody had this idea in their head that Andrew Luck was a much better quarterback than Cam Newton. Yet they had relatively
they gave him the
Cam Newton had far less talent to work with his entire time that he was here. Cam had just as good of an arm as Andrew Luck did. Both of them were first picks in the draft. Big, powerful guys at the quarterback position. I always remember defending Cam over Andrew.
Comparisons were pre, not post NFL. When people said that Andrew Luck was the best prospect, they talked about him, Cody, in the light that you talked about Trevor Lawrence.
He was supposed to come to Carolina.
Well, he chose not to come to Carolina. Actually,
yeah, that's what Tim Estes said.
And then that's what I say too, because that's why I don't like him. He returned to school. He could have been the number 1 draft pick when the Carolina Panthers had the number 1 draft pick, and we got Cam Newton. And I'm glad. I want Cam. I like Cam. I like Cam Newton more than Andrew Luck. So F with Andrew Luck. But he returned to school to go and be an interior design major.
Yeah. Or an astrophysicist or some shit. No, he's like a really smart dude.
He lacerated his kidney, not lost a spleen.
His actual major was like in architectural design. But I always just be like, you dickhead did not choose the Carolina Panthers to go back to school to be an interior designer. Hope you have some fluffy pillows right now. And you know what? His pillows are way better than my pillows. I will promise you that. I was mad, man. It's like you get I'm honest about my love and my hate for people. Right. So like my love for Cam is so clear and true. And because we chose him, he loved us. Andrew Luck turned us down. The Carolina Panthers would have picked him over Cam without hesitation. They would have.
Oh yeah. And where would we be if we did?
He chose to go back to school because he didn't want to be with the Panthers. That's exactly why. The number is 252-228-5098. Smash the thumbs up button. Subscribe to the show. We're on iTunes, TuneIn, Stitcher, wherever you get your podcast. You know what? I am the worst salesman. I got these cool shirts for sale. I just keep wearing them type shirts. But I've had but if you want one, folks, you can get a C3 Panthers podcast, a One Nation, One Voice. Put me up on the big screen, Cody. I'm seeing this. Put me on the big screen. You can get the One Nation, One Voice C3 podcast shirt on the front. It has the Carolina Cat Chronicles across the top, across the chest. Beautiful top end shirt, next level. That's what the brand name is. They're wonderful. I will never buy a cheap t-shirt. You can also get the special edition from when we went to London, the Keep Pounding t-shirt. Thanks to Lynn Leonard, who designed this. On the back, it's got a Panthers head with the cool hat, the British hat. But if I came up with that idea, Keep Pounding, go to London. Anyway, you can go to CarolinaCatChronicles.com. I just hit shop t-shirts, which also means me just going in my closet and mailing out these t-shirts that I should be advertising each and every week. But I never do because I hate selling shit. I mean, I hate it. But I love wearing these shirts. Top end. All right. Anything else you guys want? Reactions real quick before I pull up the next call. Actually, have any of you worn one of these t-shirts?
I do. I have
all of them.
Yeah, I have every C3 there is. I rotate them every podcast.
Do they feel delicious on your curmudgeon-y skin?
Oh, dude, they just melt right into me and become a part of my soul, baby. You gotta get you one of them C3 shirts. It'll make you feel like you're being hugged for the first time in your life.
There you go. All right, let's go to the next call.
Hey, everybody, it's John Jenkins. It's been a while since I called in, but I had some comments on the game and also have some tips on what we all must be doing for the team moving forward. First of all, though, it's an awesome feeling to be back to 500, isn't it? I got some hope again.
Very much so.
That was a hell of a defensive performance. Gilly showed up with that interception right on time. And then Robbie finally caught something. That was like the best catch. He caught that thing. I was like, Robbie finally caught something. I want a Bleacher Report. And that's what everybody was saying. It's like we were all sharing the same consciousness. But it was so funny. It was on Halloween, though, especially with Matt Ryan bleeding all over the place. Looked like a
yeah.
It was. Oh, yeah.
Did you guys see when he went to the bench and like wiped his forehead, smeared blood everywhere? I thought it was an SNL.
He must have been drinking before the game.
So funny. I was scared though when I saw, or at least I thought Sam's head popped off. Holy crap, man! I hope he's okay. My boy's going to be starting probably, and I haven't been saying this all season because I bought into Sam. But here's what we've got to do. You remember when you were kids and somebody say, go in the bathroom, look in the mirror, shut the lights off, and say, Bloody Mary, over and over, and she'll appear. Well, what we need to do is we need to go to the bathroom, turn the lights off, look in the mirror, and say, witness the Walker Wonder. Witness the Walker Wonder.
Yes.
Witness the Walker Wonder.
I think it's right.
Witness the Walker Wonder will appear. Peace out, guys. Keep going.
Right. Wonderful call. Thank you very much. And you will see it this week. The Carolina Panthers host the New England Patriots. And I tell you this, if PJ comes out there and ekes us out to a victory, we'll all be jumping up and down afterwards, celebrating beating the evil empire.
Can I maybe pop your bubble a little bit here?
Oh,
did you see what the Patriots did to Justin Herbert? Don't get your hopes up that PJ Walker is going to come out here and do anything special. They made Herbert
late in the game,
below average.
It was late in the game though that they did that. It wasn't like they just straight dominated that game in the beginning.
Right, but they also were going up against
mistakes, man. But how about this? Did you not see what happened on the other side of the ball? There are Mac Jones threw for 50% or under 50%, had zero touchdowns, and didn't do anything either.
And
so
their defense still won them the game.
Just don't. Who makes more mistakes or who makes less mistakes?
I'll tell you what, PJ Walker is going to make more mistakes than Justin Herbert does.
Wow.
Yeah, man, we're going up against a Bill Belichick defense. I mean, look, if we're going to have any chance of winning this, I think the song remains the same no matter who our quarterback is. If it's Sam Darnold, PJ Walker, or God forbid this poor Love sap that just signed on to the team, we're going to have to run the football. We're going to have to continuously run the football. And I think that we're going to have to take advantage of our matchups on defense. They also have a rookie quarterback, and we need to be cognizant of that too. So we need to be aggressive with him. We need to bully him around. We need to get in Matt Jones's face and put his ass on the dirt and really be aggressive and push him around. If we don't do that, then it's going to be a long day. because we know Bill Belichick is going to make passing the football a living nightmare on our offense. And do you think Bill Belichick doesn't already know that we want to run the football down their throats? Of course he does. So I hope that we're having a fantastic week of preparation, because if we're going to be able to beat this New England Patriots football team, it's going to take our best effort in the trenches.
Yeah. Which is like every team, too. Next call.
Hey, this is Kevin from Charleston. I was thinking, maybe it's, kind of out there or whatever, but maybe we should go after Jackson out of the Rams, the receiver they just cut. Like, because our receiver ain't doing shit.
I wanted him 5 years ago.
And for all the people who want to trade away CMC, just remember, CMC right now is our best receiver because he don't drop shit.
Well, that is true.
I don't know. Who do y'all think we should pick up who got cut this week? Peace.
Who should we pick up? I don't know, man.
Obviously, it's Cam Newton.
Yeah, that's who we want, man. But I don't think the Panthers are going to do it, man. I think the Eagles are going to be too much.
No, got a sinking suspicion you're right.
Yeah, the Eagles are going to be too much. They're not going to do it.
This is some people have been saying on Twitter that Cam deleted his IG account.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, I mean, like, why would you do that as an influencer? Interesting. That's what I heard. Is it true? Chat, tell us. I mean, obviously, I saw
they
it from like
said that it was true. I assume that it is. I didn't.
Yeah, like I have no reason to not like. I saw like 7. I don't use Instagram myself, and not because I'm like anti-Instagram. I'm just not a big picture person. I like words more. But if Cam, like, if he deleted his Instagram, that's why would you do that?
It makes you wonder if he's going through it, man. Maybe he's upset that he's still not playing football. I'm listening. I honestly couldn't tell you, man. I don't know.
Yeah, it would every answer would be 100% speculation. But wouldn't you just stop posting on it? That's my thing.
I don't know, but also Cam Newton has a lot of he's got 5 kids. He has a lot going on in his life. I don't think he was on good terms with his wife from last time I remember hearing about it.
Maybe
so he might have a bunch of stuff.
Maybe she hacked it.
So Michael Jones, Cam still has his iconic saga page. So yeah, man, something might have pissed him off. I don't know, man. It could be a number of different things, but
I would just like take the app off my phone. I just wouldn't like. That's my thing. Is like I don't use Snapchat, and I'm not going to. Like I think I got a lot of things, and I'm gonna tell my. But my account probably still exists, but I just delete it off my phone. Yeah, I guess don't use it anymore.
Yeah, but Cam Newton.
Isn't it interesting to delete the account? I mean,
again, dude, who knows what Cam was using that account for? Man.
Sure. Like,
maybe his DMs weren't as pristine as you might want them to be.
My DMs are boring. Why don't you DM me at cat_chronicles on Twitter or call into the show at 252-228-5098. We want to hear your thoughts on these Carolina Panthers. Why don't you tell us why Cam Newton deleted his IG account, or has he called it a gram? Oh wait, does he call it that? Do the kids call it that?
What it do, boy? It's your boy Mike.
Supreme, what's up?
Hope you guys are having a fantabulous Tuesday. All I really called in to talk about. Oh, you know what? I do got something I want to get off my hairless chest. Okay.
Okay.
if C-Mac is going to come back, Joe Brady needs to use that young, luscious, supposedly bright mind of his and start doing some different things. And we've had this conversation before, and we're going to have this conversation again.
And again.
Line them up outside. Okay? Just think about it. Chuba and company. Okay? Chubby Hubby and company have held it down since that man broke his hamstring trying to cut. Okay? So why not just let Chubby Hubby keep doing his thing, back there with everybody else, and line them up outside in the slot, or hell, line them up out wide. You're gonna double DJ, but you're gonna leave Christian open. All right, okay, double Christian. You're gonna leave DJ open. So just line that man up outside. His dad, old Ed McCaffrey, was a wide receiver. So I think that's where he should play. Not all the time, maybe, but some of the time. Okay. Also, I'm going to be at the game this Sunday. All right. I'm going to be in the section 530 something. Okay. On the home improvement side, the Lowe's home improvement side. Oh. That's a home improvement reference.
Got a nice little Tim Allen reference there.
I'm a 90s kid, bro. I got you.
Pride till I die.
Panther Pride. Love listening to the Supreme Leader, man. Fantastic call. CK, you want to go here first? What are your thoughts,
bro?
Man?
Yeah, I mean, I've been super critical of Joe Brady, and I think he's 100% right. If you get back CMC, you've got to be more intentional with creating some basically doing making plays that are going to keep defenses on their toes. Everything we've done up to this point has been vanilla, and defenses have, been unfortunately able to just kind of call it out right then and there. This past week has been by far his best performance as a play caller, and I'm hoping he can continue that. And if he can do if PJ Walker is the guy, right, coming this Sunday, and we do have Christian McCaffrey back, you got to be creative. You have to. You cannot just play the game the way they want to play it, which is run the ball, pass it. Like, you've got to be able to create some bootlegs. You've got to create some misdirection, because if you don't, these guys are going to be just eating all day against this offensive line and this offense.
Two things about this. One is the Butcher was exciting for this team. And that's what they call Abdullah, right? The Butcher coming out of college. Like, he was exciting. Amir Abdullah was and I know he only got 30% of the carries. Is it running back snaps? So maybe this from Josh Klein is saying where he's coming out of the backfield. He had some screen passes. He had some handoffs. He was in the punt return game, I believe, right? Punt or kick return, one of the two. So there was a presence that he had immediately that was fun, or exciting. Right. So that's one thing. And then the other was what were we talking about? CMC coming back, right? Is how do you manage that? Do you just go full force into saying, you know what, we want to who gets, is it just like do we just cross Royce Freeman off this list, make Chuba Hubbard down to 20% and Amir Abdullah to 20%, and
I think our boy Josh Klein has a pretty good little formula there. I mean, I would say maybe even less than 70. Let's
that would be 60 if we did 60 20 20.
Yeah, I think that would be fantastic too. Hopefully later in the ball game too, you're able to get them involved. And listen, people get mad at me every time I say it, but I don't care. I'm going to keep on saying it. If Christian McCaffrey is going to be such an important part of our offense, you have to limit the number of snaps. By the way, big bad Derrick Henry is out for the year also. So it's not
first time in his career. First time in his career.
But Tony, what did we say? You're not injury prone.
And on a record ass pace.
And I'm not saying that he's injury prone. I'm saying, dude, when you have your offense run through a running back, you cannot be surprised when they get hurt. And now all of a sudden your offense is completely different without them. I want Christian McCaffrey to be available later on this year, and we have to use him in the proper scenarios. And this isn't wanting to take the ball out of our best player's hand. This is wanting to be smart in how we use our best football player who's been dealing with a ton of injuries.
I absolutely hate this argument.
I know you do, but it's
because we're not going to say Devontae Adams. Like, who is the most? I mean,
there's a difference.
There is a tremendous difference.
Running back and receiver is not the same kind of punishment.
The receiver,
not the same kind of job.
The receiver
they're not getting a handoff.
Right.
Yeah, it doesn't
they're
matter.
Taking blitz. They're blitz pick. They're picking up blitzes. They're blocking.
It's not like the other guys.
Tony, running back is far more extensive on the body than playing wide receiver.
That's not saying it's not extensive. I'm not saying that, but what you're saying is that you can run an offense through a receiver, but you can't run it through a running back.
No, I mean you can run a passing attack through a receiver who gets open a lot. But
is Devontae Adams? Who's the best receiver? Pick the number one, like the most pristine receiver, like the most influential one in the league.
I mean, whoever it is, I wouldn't say you run the offense through them.
You don't go. You know what is that? They're so important to our offense that we probably should limit their exposure.
Or you use them too much and get them hurt. Then what are you with?
That's what I'm saying is you don't know. I've never heard that argument for a wide receiver is that we're exposed. You know what? Maybe we shouldn't run them so much on plays. We're not going to pass it. I ain't never heard that.
Because it's not the same argument. It's not the same argument.
It's not the same, but there is some similarity to it.
You have to limit his snaps, Tony, for his health. You have to. You
or
hear
maybe
me say
use
that
them in a more diverse way. What about that?
I feel like you hear me say that.
What if he was a receiver? What if he was a receiver, not a running back? No. I think you're saying that I am saying that. Yeah.
Oh my God.
I feel like I am arguing with my wife. Yeah.
I'm not your wife. I'm trying to make sense of
Don't
football
worry.
for you.
If you were my wife, you would not be safe right now.
My body is nowhere near as nice, I'm sure.
I don't know about that.
No, it is totally not.
Thank you, CK. We're off the rails now, boy.
No,
I don't know where this is going, but I'm liking it.
We'll keep going through with the calls. We'll keep going through with these calls. Got so many feelings.
Hey, guys. Love the show. Cody, Tony. I think you guys made me a little hard on Sam Darnold. And last week, he played his ass off. I mean, he ran, he took hits, and mind you, he's got a wide receiver core that leads the league and drop passes.
He did, man. They dropped everything last week. He'd be hitting these mugs in the face last week.
Players that can catch the ball and make plays. I think he can be a game-managing quarterback for the long term. Now, anyway, but there is one player I want to talk about who you haven't been talking about who's been balling lately, that kicker, that Zane Gonzalez. He's nailing field goals, and his kickoffs result in touchbacks. I think this guy may be the solution for the long term. So what are your feelings on that kicker who's been balling lately? Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.
A couple of things on kickers.
Go ahead.
I was saying a couple of things on kickers. First and foremost, Zane Gonzalez has definitely come in. He has improved drastically, off of his first week. I don't know that he's missed a field goal. I could be wrong, but not since that first week. I think he might have missed one then, but I think it's important. Do you guys happen to know why the 49ers cut Sly? He was on a streak of made field goals, which pisses us off, I know, but
because they didn't trust him.
Yeah.
CK, I honestly didn't even know that he was with the 49ers.
I thought he was still with the Texans too. I did. Like, for whatever reason, I still thought he was, but I saw him the other day playing for the 49ers.
I saw him at Best Buy the other
day. Interesting, man. But yeah, no, I think, like I said, I think I mentioned it Sunday. I think Zane Gonzalez is saving Blackburn's job right now. That backup punter is putting him right back in the doghouse a little bit, but that Zane Gonzalez is doing a lot to make sure Blackburn is the special teams coach coming next year.
I think we talked a lot about Chase Blackburn earlier in this season, and I unlike Cody, who wants to probably like eviscerate everybody, I was hoping that Chase Blackburn, I was like rooting for Chase Blackburn. But at this point, if he makes it through all of this, I don't think he can survive this season. And I think or next season. Like, I don't think he will be the special teams coach next year.
He needs the rest of this year. He needs the rest of this year to prove himself. Well, he's not.
I'm just projecting. That's my prediction. I don't think he'll be the special teams coach next year.
Hey, you very well might be right. Listen, I think that his performances early on were abysmal. I maintain that one of the main reasons we lost that Philadelphia Eagles game is because of special teams. And even before then, we had been complaining about our special teams. We complained about our special teams last year, but problems were just so bad on offense and then later on defense that the special teams just kind of got pushed to the back. Yeah, got pushed to the back burner. But that's on Matt Rule as well. And if you're going to be the real leader of this football team, you have to make the hard moves. And shout out to Brad Holt here. He's correct. Chase Blackburn is a part of the old regime. So, yeah, his days, if he doesn't continue to improve this special teams, then, yeah, his days could very well be numbered, man. No one's entitled to anything around here if you're not earning your weight. And so far, Chase Blackburn, Gonzalez has done a little bit better. But overall, I still wouldn't say that I'm very impressed with the overall performance of our special teams. So I need to see more. I think we all do.
Continuing on the line of coaches, this past week before Sam Darnold suffered the concussion, but after the benching, right? So we almost forget that he was benched just because Carolina won and now he's hurt. And now we're worried. But this guy was benched against the Giants in a historically bad, terrible, awful game. And then some of the stories that followed that week were about Matt Rule kind of taking more of an interest with Sam Darnold and like how he was approached. So you heard them, they watched the tape together. They watched the greatest, the GOAT, Tom Brady, how he navigated the pocket and his timing. And they concluded that his dropbacks were rushed or something to that effect. Since we're talking about Chase Blackburn making it, why is it that every time there's a real problem with this team, right, it's like Matt Rule has to be the fixer. Like he goes in there, he's like, I'm gonna intervene on play calls. We're gonna make sure if I want to run the ball, we'll run the ball. Now Sam Darnold's been sucking for the last 3 games. All of a sudden he's having these personal meetings with him. Where is this Sean Ryan guy? Where is the quarterback's coach? Why wasn't he diagnosing this drop back error by a half yard or whatever that Matt Rule all of a sudden the Wonder Boy can sit down, the guy that can coach any position. Sean Ryan, you guys told me that he worked with Stafford. He worked with Deshaun Watson. He coached with the Giants for 9 years. Maybe he ain't even a good coach. Maybe he just had good players.
And who's the offensive line coach? Who's the offensive line coach?
I think his name's Pat Meyer.
Hey, but yeah, that's another guy too. That is like, if we're gonna put, criticisms on the positions, we have to put some on the coaches as well. Yeah, I don't know, man.
Like, how does Matt Rule? Like, so Matt Rule's going to
because he's the head coach, man.
2 hours.
He's the head coach.
And all of a sudden, we figured it out.
If you're going to hire a head coach to a 7-year contract, you expect to be able to look to that guy when things are going wrong. You expect him to be able to lay down the blueprint on how you fix things.
But I also think he should be picking coaches. I think he should be picking coaches that can do all of that. Like, that's why I am not a head coach. That's why I'm not, like, I'm an assistant in my department. All this is because it turns out maybe I'm not great at delegating. But I mean, like, here is that Matt Rule can't, like, all of a sudden, what if we have a problem next week with what did Matt Rule go sit down with the punters? You know what I'm saying? Like, all of a sudden,
he did say in an interview wherever they're struggling, he will spend individual time in different, player meetings. If it's O-line, D-line, quarterback room, receivers, he did say that he does do that.
Isn't that not a referendum, though, on the guys that you put into power? To a certain degree, all right. So then now you're just proving to me that Matt Rule's awesome, but you're also proving to me that Joe Brady sucks, Chase Blackburn sucks, and Pat Meyer and Sean Ryan.
Well, but again,
how about this? That this was the answer they came back with, Cody, is that his drop back, he was taking a half step and the routes were off. Like, why wasn't the quarterback's coach saying that? Wow,
maybe part of it. Well, maybe part of it was because it was pointed out to him, and maybe that's why Sam did have a.
Why wasn't the quarterback's coach pointing it out to him?
That's my point. You don't know that he wasn't. You don't know that he wasn't. We don't have the cameras on the inside behind saying who's pointing out what. In fact,
the only
reason why most of us are talking about it, unless you're watching the film by yourself. Dan Orlovsky put out that video of Sam Darnold not being in sync and not, the receivers not being ready to receive the ball by the time he's at the end of his drop. So I don't know who pointed it out to him, but I think that we deserve to give our coaches at least a little bit of credit for coming off of that W, because they did show an improved performance. I mean, we've been doing nothing but trashing this offensive line all year.
The offense barely showed any improvement. If anything, I would say this.
We rushed for over 200 yards. That was our best offensive line performance this year by a mile.
Misrepresentation of the yardage.
Why? Because of the Falcons? Maybe we're going to find out.
Yeah, because 60 of those yards came on undesigned scrambles where the quarterback, and we'll give him credit, like Sammy D has some legs. So yeah, but we ran 47 times, homie. 47. That's like if you don't get our running backs, like if you don't get to, what is that? That's really only 5 yards. I mean, I'm not saying like we didn't run the ball well. We ran the ball fine, but it's not like all of a sudden the coaching. You know what, Cody? It took 2 weeks to get to that. 2 weeks before that, Matt Rule came out and said, we're not running the ball enough. I want to run the ball 33 times. Here. We'll put it up. How about this? And this, you want to see this, is he said, so 2 weeks ago, we didn't run the ball at all. Then we come out, he said, next week, we're going to find a new identity. We're going to find a new identity. And we ran the ball 17 times. Then another week comes. I guess Matt Rule had a meeting with Joe Brady. I guess he sat down with Joe Brady and fixed Joe Brady in this past week. He didn't have time the week before. And now we run 46 times. And he says this, I think I've known this, what I want us to look like. He said, I think I've known this is what I want us to look like. I know it's not always going to be 46 runs, but I want it to be 30. Of course, you got 200 yards, bro. You ran it 46 times, Cody. Like,
you're not guaranteed to get 200 yards, even if you run 50
Imagine
times.
if they got 110 yards and they ran it 47 times.
The thing that should upset you is why it took 2 weeks after he said that this is what we're going to do.
That's what I'm saying. Oh, but now we should give the coaches credit.
But I'm saying, listen, the fact that it happened, like at least it fucking happened at some point. The other alternative was to keep on letting Sam drop back and get obliterated and let our bullshit offensive line continue to fail him before they even tried to do that.
So
and
we
you have
should
no
bring Christian McCaffrey
McCaffrey
back in and run 12 times. We got to protect them.
We should do just like we did last week. But CMC needs to be a part of the passing attack and a part of the rushing attack. And I think if our offensive line continues to find their identity running the football, keep on doing it, man. Keep on doing it.
Next call.
My thoughts on the whole process is, who do we eliminate from our corners? Do you say AJ Boye is better than Donte Jackson? Because so far, I say Jackson has performed over AJ, but we can see as the season progresses. Also, at quarterback, do we rely on our current quarterback who's injured? And do we just move forward and try to find one after the draft? And what if we break 500? Because if we break 500, there's going to be no quarterbacks in the draft. So do we build up on an offensive line? All the real Panthers fans know this offensive line's been in trouble for a long time. I feel like that's the main place we should kind of attack on the off season. But past that, I'll always be a Panthers fan, and I love y'all show.
Thank you.
Nice. Fantastic call.
Yeah, I think that that addresses a lot of the same things that we've been talking about, which is, is obviously the better we do this year, the less likely we are to get a quarterback that we think we can build around, which means Sam is going to be the future, or we're going to have to try to pursue somebody like Deshaun Watson in the offseason, or Aaron Rodgers, or a Russell Wilson in the offseason. These guys who have been, said to be unhappy in the current state that they're in. We'll see if that's anything comes of that, but those are all still win now moves. None of those are future, building blocks. I think Aaron Rodgers is coming to the final stretch of his career as well. So do we want to, do an actual rebuild or not? And I think it has to start with the interior. It has to start there on the line in the trenches. We've done that with the defense. I think we need to go full on overhaul this offseason. In the draft and go offensive line. I think that's what you have to do.
Well, you know what is you can call in with this. You can tweet me at @cat_chronicles. Will Sam Darnold be the quarterback next year? I think starting to be a legitimate question whether or not you think he sucks or not. If the rebuild is, if the quarterback issue, if you can't solve it in free agency and you don't really feel comfortable if you can't grab an Aaron Rodgers, or Aaron Rodgers doesn't want to come to you, what do? You got to pick an offensive lineman in the first round and kind of think about the next year. Sam Darnold might be your quarterback next year. 252-228-5098.
Here we go.
Impression since we're doing since we're waving the old 4-4. Wait. Some Falcon in the back of the room wanted to know what that was. You know
this
what
is
it is,
Joey.
Boinka. You didn't play my calls during the post game.
Oh shit! Blame Tony. He has 1 million saved.
I kind of figured we weren't going to do shit at the trade deadline because, well, we've already traded like a ton. And the one thing we really could have done is send C.J. Henderson back to Jacksonville and have them give us our shit back because he sucks. He isn't doing shit.
Well,
not
he's
playing.
actually not playing. Yeah, which is something to ask
Still,
about.
He didn't play
Yeah.
last week. When he played, he wasn't doing much. Even a few plays, but he was like, man, like the dude was good, but you could tell he only did Pop Warner because his fucking parents made him. But
Because he was like super
send him back to
athletic. He was like, I just want to read books and be alone. And they're like, you have to play sports, motherfucker.
I'm sick of hearing that he's going to be back not this week, but next week shit, because we heard that 2 weeks ago.
We heard that all last year.
Doing really well. So, bye-bye, CMC. I mean, if you don't stop
Damn,
ending up
yeah,
at CMC for getting hurt all the time, then, I mean, damn. Something's got to give there. Anyway, guys. Wow!
It's CMC slander. I don't like it. And this isn't. And you know what? I have come back to CMC Jesus on this.
Oh, God.
I know. You guys got to stop with it, man. It's not just a running back. I think he's a special player.
Who's hurt all the time.
Who's been hurt recently? Next call.
A lot.
We cannot
A lot
forget that
recently.
He is a critical piece to our defensive secondary. And I think we probably would be C.J. Henderson will probably be the odd man out right now.
Oh, look at all
we
these
picked him
CJ
up.
calls.
He's still young, but he really hasn't showed me anything or anything like that. I think we should have picked up Cam Newton. We should have brought him back home.
Agreed.
That'll be a shot of energy for the fans,
Love Cam.
for the team, and just all around better. And keep pounding.
Thank you for the call. Let's
Keep
keep
pounding.
moving. We're going to keep moving.
What's up, guys? This is Justin from Richmond, Virginia. First
What's
time
up,
caller,
Justin?
long time listener.
Hey, Justin, man.
So,
Thank you.
Next week, this coming Sunday is going to be my first NFL game, and I'm going to be watching the Carolina Panthers beat the New England Patriots.
PJ
my
Walker
girlfriend is
beating those bitches.
Patriots fan, so it's going to be a rough one. But
No,
coming
for
into
her.
last week, I was a little nervous. We were on a 4-game losing streak, and then we beat the Falcons. So pretty excited coming into this week, and I think we have a chance. Watch the game. Our offense needs a lot of work, but, you know, our defense came to play. Sam Darnold came to play. I don't know. I'm excited. So turned on my favorite Panthers podcast, and I don't know. T-Baby seems a little upset. Seems like he's fighting back tears every time the Panthers get a win. How we need to
That was
change
like Cody last year, though.
No, that was like
Yes, it was.
question is, T-Baby,
You were crying all last year, like crying.
Wait, he has a question for you.
or the Patriots. Keep pounding.
Panthers or Patriots?
You need to rewind the last. You need to play the last 10 seconds of that goal.
Oh. Should have played this goal earlier.
What's
Got that.
T-Baby? This week, are you going to be rooting for the Panthers or the Patriots?
Oh, T baby.
He's asking you,
for
you-
me.
Yeah.
Oh, he's asking me.
Yeah, are you rooting for the Panthers or the Patriots?
I'm always rooting for the Panthers, bitches.
They're coming at you, bro. They're
Nah,
telling you, man.
this
Get
is
this
not
logic
fair.
back.
Last
on point,
year,
bro.
you were tank from beginning, homie.
I was right too. Just like I'm
And so
right now.
What are you? What? And now I'm Mr. Crybaby.
You're the curmudgeon. You're calling me a curmudgeon. You're the old curmudgeon. Tony Dunn, the old curmudgeon. That we need to make
I
a
am
shirt.
angry. I am old, and we do need to make a shirt.
These
I am
damn
old.
kids talking about Christian McCaffrey. That's
I love
you,
it.
man.
Get off of my Bank of America fake lawn. Next go.
Damn kids and your pesky TikToks.
Tiki Takis.
Somebody just called in and recorded air. Come on, guys. Come on, guys.
Be better.
Breathing into the microphone. Thank God he wasn't doing what they do on Cody's show.
Good afternoon, C3 Podcast. This is Tree 50. How's everybody?
What up, Tree 50?
Tree 50, what's up, bro?
Good today. Just right before the game, figured we was going to lose because, why not? Keep following the trend, but that defense is it's something. It's something good. Definitely, absolutely. But it seems
let's
that's our
be
game
careful,
plan.
man. It was Atlanta. No Calvin
defense.
Ridley.
But now that we have the pieces there, it's rely on defense more until I guess when we can figure out this offense. And speaking of that offense, Sam Darnold, man, you cannot play at Atlanta and run on them. They got PTSD when Cam used to do it. That's why he used to get hit hard. And it looks like you couldn't hold up. But I hope you get better. That was a nasty couple hits, but that's how it is on the fucking Dirty Birds. But right now, I think it's a good opportunity. I like where the conversation was going with this. Why not just bring back Cam? PJ is not it. His style has changed up drastically. He refuses to run it when the opportunity is there. I typed that earlier, but he's been like that since the preseason. Like even when he threw with it's about to end. All right, never mind. Sorry. Yeah, when he threw with
so this call felt longer than it was.
Preseason. Yeah, his game wasn't better than Will Greer, but no, he's not here. But just the way that PJ plays, like he doesn't run it when he was last year, and he's kind of just trying to, I guess, fit their style of mode for their QB. And it's just Matt Rule, his papa, so he's going to follow that with T. So Cam in here with this defense, and you give him a simple offense, Cam can do it. I mean, you heard how he talked about New England. That shit was like calculus. You bring him back to Joe Brady shit, it's like, come on. He could follow that up maybe about a week and a half or even earlier. And shit.
Could he have come back this week?
Darnold's gonna be out for a while, so might as well bring back
Christian?
Yeah, like technically.
Hold up. Start this shit. Let me start
He
over.
is, but he don't want to get over caught up. I like you, man. He's worried about his time. Thank you, bro. And so you know who is not worried about their time is Tony Dunn, who makes this podcast go on for like 27 hours a week. I do. I drag this joint out. I'll be like, oh, I want to make it. I want to have some points to talk about. And then all of a sudden I'll be like, hey, guys, you want to argue about Demir Bird? We were just talking about, CMC. Like, so he went out on a 3-week IR, which is new. They didn't used to have that. Man, maybe it's 2 years old. I missed first this year. They'll be dropping everybody on 3-week IR, which is cool. I think that they need to do stuff like this so you can make those roster exemptions a little bit easier. But how many weeks has he been out? I thought he was sort of eligible to come back this week. Maybe I just can't count.
I don't know. I've heard that.
Chat, tell us. Chat,
you mean this week against the Patriots, right? Or you mean
right?
this
He's
past
not.
week against
He's
Atlanta?
not coming. No.
He's eligible. CMC is eligible to return this week.
But he's not going. It sounds like he's.
They said that he is either coming back this week or next week. But they said they're going to wait to make a decision until Wednesday, or they're going to wait to see what he looks like on Wednesday.
Do you think he? I don't think he comes back. The tone and temperament that I've kind of just felt from the media, I've barely even been asking about him. So it almost makes it feel like it's going to be, who do we play after the Patriots?
After the Patriots, we play
I'm not entirely sure, but like I don't really
Cardinals,
feel confident.
4:00 game in the afternoon too.
Tim Estes says he's eligible this week.
Yeah.
And how about this? Think about this. If he does not play this week, that's kind of fucked up. Right? I mean, like soft. All right, so soft tissue injury, right?
Soft tissue issue.
Yeah, a strain, right? He had a hamstring strain, which we know lingers, and you don't want to try to overdo it and rush someone back. They let him sit out for 2 or 3 games, whatever it was in the beginning, right after it was. Remember? And then they tried to bring him back and practice halfway. They sold it like he was going to play.
Oh, they did. Then they said he had a setback.
2 days. Yeah, and then now it's 3 weeks later. 3 full weeks off of IR. Like you put him on the IR. People are like, oh, you should have put him on. What I'm saying is that like if he could have almost played 3.5 weeks ago, why is it that he can't play right now? And if one more week, now you guys are starting to pull me into the trepidation of the CMC troubled injury water conversation. You know, I mean, like, why isn't he ready? Like, I almost felt like the 3-week IR was trying to be very cautious and careful.
Yeah, and I don't know why.
I thought he was going to run out the gate here.
I don't know why we didn't do it sooner. Then
but still, it doesn't even matter. It doesn't.
You're gonna hate
this on an 8-week IR at this point. And no, I am gonna hate it because then that means that he won't play this week, or you know what? Next week they'll be like, "Oh, guess he ain't ready."
If he can't play, what does that say? Huh? What does that say?
I don't know.
He's kind of injury prone. His body's starting to wear down on him a little bit. You have to give him extra time to make sure his body is up to snuff, man.
How many extra?
If that's his body, that's his body. Don't get mad at look, it is what it is, man. Don't get mad that we're not, that you say we should be playing Christian McCaffrey all the time. And then say, that the injuries aren't a problem. He needs to be out there.
I thought he was going to be better by now.
If he could be out there, he would be out there.
Did you not think he would be better by now? Like physically?
Yeah, I want him to be, but
it's been 7 weeks.
It doesn't matter what we want. I mean, it really doesn't matter what we want. If he's going to come back,
you not expect it? Like, look, is that we can argue about the wisdom of what contracts are, but I don't even care about that at this point. It's like the contract is on our team, so it's like, but did you not kind of expect him to be returning right now?
Yeah,
it's just one more week. If it's one
more
week,
it's not surprising to me.
Then
you know why it's not surprising to me?
You're kind of pulling me over. That's what I'm saying. Like, if he don't come back next week, if we get to this podcast next week, then I'm like, it's harder. It's harder and harder to fight to defend against you. That's what I'm saying.
Telling you, I know these things. I win these.
Your hamstrings get fucked up.
I have the foresight, man. You gotta listen to me.
Yeah, foreskin.
Yeah, well, no, not since I was real little.
Oh, good.
Had that done away with.
We tried to have an abortion. It turns out CK's internet was the sacrifice.
Yeah.
What?
Dude, so
I don't know. I'm so confused.
So I was we were at this restaurant, and this girl comes in, and this was a couple of days, like I live in a college town, and the restaurant is in a college area, but it was very convenient at the time, and the food's pretty good. So we go in there, and but it's a young audience. and I got two of my 3 kids with me. But this girl comes in and she's wearing her Halloween costume on like Friday. It was like Friday or Saturday. I can't remember what night it was. I think it was Friday. And it is like a perfect belly. Like she looks pregnant as a jet, but it was like so perfect of a circle. You're like, I don't believe. I told my wife I was like, look at her ankles. Look at her ankles. You want to know if she's pregnant? Because I was thinking, man, it's Halloween night, right? So we knew that she was probably dressing up as a pregnant girl, and we're making fun, we're making jokes, everybody's laughing. It looked good too. But then like her food came and she took the belly out. Like she took it out, like she was like, screw this, like I need to eat. Like I mean, like she had bored it for a minute. And I went up to her. I said, "Man, it's rude to have an abortion at your table."
Oh my god,
it's so rude, and right in front of a Catholic person. Anyway,
damn, you're vile, Tony Dunn.
That was messed up.
You need to say 5 Hail Marys.
Do you know what it was? It was a styrofoam, that white styrofoam, like white styrofoam, like packaging material.
Yeah,
perfect half circle. It's a good costume. I felt like she could have. My wife said this is that she should just like bump into somebody who she slept with a month ago.
A month ago, damn.
Right, but that's the joke. Is like, oh god.
See if they realize it.
Like, yeah, and like just make them panic, and also be like, our DNA is so special. So, like, just watch this person go. No,
I had sex with an alien.
Oh god! Imagine if you just called up not every person. Hopefully, you're not just spreading it out there. Anyway, maybe you are. Maybe you are. Look, Tim says Tony hitting on fake pregos with his wife around. That's probably why my marriage is falling apart. Probably why.
Have to quit hitting on pregnant women.
I know. I know. You know what is I can't make them prego anymore, which is the most amazing thing ever. It's like a liberating feeling. And don't tell the bishop, which I'm gonna have to tell Jesus one day. Sorry, I'm a Catholic, man. No, the calls are done.
We have no more calls.
I know. You just got to deal with me. I'm gonna make you stay up for at least.
Shit, you better tell some better stories.
What do you mean? I walked up to a girl and told her that it was rude to have abortions at the dinner table. How much of a better story can
this
you
is
get?
America, dude. Let her have an abortion whenever she wants, Tony. Come on.
JD54 said he called in. Hold on. Let me refresh. And hit me with the last 4 digits of your number, because I think I played all of them. Let's talk about the trades across the league.
How about the Broncos?
I know Von Miller.
Von Miller, and how about the freaking Rams, bro? Like, they are, like, I'm telling you, they already had an incredible defense now, and a defensive front. Dude, you realize what that defensive line looks like right now? Just look at the people on that defensive line. Aaron Donald, Von Miller. Oh gosh, what's the other guy's name? I'm blanking.
I forget his name, but they also have Jalen Ramsey on that team too.
Jalen Ramsey is on the back there in cornerback.
Yeah, dude, the Rams are all in, and I feel like every year they're always the team making moves. They traded for Stafford, they traded for Ramsey, now they traded for Von Miller. Like, they don't care what their salary cap looks like in a few years. They don't care what their draft picks looks like in a few years. Right. They're trying to win a Super Bowl right now. And frankly, if you're in their position, I don't blame them, man. They're firing on all cylinders. They're getting better. They're clearly one of the best teams in the NFC. Maybe one day we'll get to that place. Hopefully sometime soon, man. But I don't blame them for
Well, it starts with
doing
the
it.
quarterback. It does start with the quarterback. You might want to ask why the Green Bay Packers haven't done that a little bit more, that kind of attitude.
They never do that, man. A lot of people were so mad that they didn't try and trade for Odell Beckham Jr. before the trade deadline, and that him and Aaron Rodgers would have been magical with one another.
All right, we do have this call. Let's go to the call.
Yo, what's good, C3? It's Justin.
What's
JD.
my
Justin,
man?
what's up, bro?
My opinion of that last game, the offense, and going into this upcoming Sunday, I feel like this offense is it's an offense. It's a plan that you can move forward with and win games. This should have been a game plan since game one, because Sam is not a rookie. His decision making is at the level of a rookie, and the best thing you could do for rookie QBs is to give them a solid run game. That's it. Sam is not a rookie. He's a reclamation project. So similar situation. They should have been doing this from the jump. With PJ, with the possibility of PJ starting this upcoming week, I think the game plan should be fairly similar. And regardless of who we have at the running back position, if CMC's back, if he's not, I do believe that Amir should get more touches, and the number one and number two running back should have around similar amount. So like a 40-40-20 type split. Keep the guys fresh. Like I said, if CMC isn't back this Sunday, I think Amir should be the starter and let Cuba be the number two and let Royce get what's left of those carries. But yeah, I like what I saw from the offense last week, and I'm looking at it from the perspective of, okay, now they have an identity and they have something that they can build off of.
Yeah.
Sam comes back. If he plays this week, whenever he comes back, I like Sam seemed confident in that this past Sunday. That's the thing I like. He
I won't say confident, but he seems resilient.
And we can actually properly assess who he is or what he is. As it stands, we like everybody's talking about we need a QB, we need a QB. No, we need to flesh out the rest of the team offensively, build up the line, get guys depth pieces and things of that nature. If we can build all that up and Sam isn't the guy, then we'll be in a position to trade whatever the fuck we need to trade. Draft. You see how the Rams don't have draft picks. They're like, no, we going in now. Like, we be in a better position, similar to them, but in a better position. So, yeah, that's my 2 cents. Appreciate you guys playing my call and everything. Appreciate the show.
Keep pounding, man. I echo the exact sentiments that Justin just said. I feel like we found our identity. We need to be a tough, physical, run-first football team, play some smash-mouth football, and I think this is going to open things up for
that, man.
Yeah, but listen, but Tony, we're not expecting us to be a finished product right now. You're only expecting to see incremental positive results, and I think so far
47 carries
we
is a
saw
lot,
that, man. Yeah, but
47
listen,
carries
when
a lot.
you can't pass protect, that's what you have to do, man. You have to
can't do
work
that
with
every
what you
week.
have.
You're not gonna be able to. All right. Look, let's do it, man. They said they were going to do it 2 weeks ago. It took them 2 weeks later. So, yeah, like, I'm not opposed to it.
Let's see what Bill Belichick has to.
All right. What do we got coming up this week? We still got to do the ISO picks.
Yeah, I have a fun one, too.
We have tomorrow night. We're going to get back on that debate my take.
Yeah, you know it.
All right. We skipped a week. That was my fault.
We have people scheduled, but we'll talk.
Yeah, we got Eric Summers from Cat Scratch Reader on Beat Report.
Nice.
Beat Check.
Nice.
We don't have any New England people. I've been trying to court these New England people. They're tough. They're too busy. They're too Yankee for us slow people.
Hey, do you have another call?
Another one. Dude, all right. Another one. Let's see. I ain't found if it just came in 6 seconds. I was gonna say Tony is the coolest motherfucker ever.
It's probably gonna be something like crazy.
It's gonna be like T-Baby. Nothing.
Or no call. That's it.
That's it. Didn't say nothing.
That was it. All right.
Yeah.
So you can check us out tomorrow night. We're gonna do Debate My Take. You can at 9:00 we have live Eric Summers on the C3 Beat Check. Friday night we got the Friday free for all where Cody and all his boys circle jerk. No.
We don't do that anymore.
I came on all y'all.
That's on my OnlyFans. We moved that content somewhere else. But no, join the Friday free for all.
Man, it's got a lot of there's a cult following in the Friday free for all.
Dude, listen, if you're not coming and hanging out with the cool kids on the Friday free for all, what's your problem, dude? You don't want to be
before
a
you
lame.
go out to the bars, like you can come in and hang out with the boys. You smoke whatever you do, get your pregame on.
You're not cool unless you come and hang out on the Friday free for all with your boy every Friday at 7 p.m. That's your opportunity to come on this show and tell us what you think about these Carolina Panthers directly, man. We have as you said, a cult following of people that come on. We have a fantastic discussion every single Friday, and I'm inviting you to be a part of it. Yes, that's right. Whoever you are listening right now, the Friday free for all is for you. Come be a part of it every Friday at 7 p.m.
All right. CK, this past week, you guys dropped an awesome version, the Madden simulation. I told you. I tried to tell. I told you. I think I was right.
Yeah, I mean that was
one Carolina was amazing.
Yeah, he was definitely he was made for it for sure. He had the voice, he had the knowledge that you need for somebody to do that.
We're gonna try to get him back.
Yeah,
we need to get him back. Let's go ahead and court him for like 4 weeks from now, just to not exhaust him. We need to save his voice. If he wants to do it every week, let's do it.
He's incredible, man. Him and CK together are.
I know.
They sound like
awesome.
a legitimate Madden.
And did you hear Mick Mixon's shit this week?
No, what was it?
All right, so I told you guys the week before. What was it? It was a ridiculous one the week before. Well, it was about the week before this one. He started off. He was like, when your body starts to secrete this enzyme, you are going into puberty, and then you achieve adolescence. Today, the Panthers on the road against the New York Giants are trying to achieve maturity. I told you guys about that one. This week it was about the Panthers offense that was constipated, and we had a case of irritable bowel syndrome. He said irritable bowel syndrome. It was awesome, dude. Like it goes through all this crazy shit, and he's like, like we took an X-Lax. Next week it'll be like they took an X-Lax and had acne medication on their adolescent faces.
You can tell that he is retiring at the end of this year because he has stopped giving a shit.
He needs to be on. Like our goal is in 2 years for him to be on the Madden simulation with you.
Well, you know he's retiring, right? He's not going to be
right. In 2 years, we got to catch him. Like we got to let him have a year off. Like so, he retires and then he gets the itch. in 2 or 3 years, we got to bring him back, and he's going to be like, when my colonoscopy went right, it was when the Panthers.
You know what I was thinking about too? I feel like Mixon is being pushed out by Tepper as well, and that's the only reason he's retiring.
I wouldn't doubt it.
You know, I thought
wouldn't
that
doubt
too, because there's been so many changes. One
From the
being
media.
like Eugene Robinson doesn't do it anymore, but you know that he's back on the team. He doesn't do the live broadcast, but he is part of the
media.
after interviews. Like, yeah, it's like if you go on the Panthers website and you do their audio content, they have Mick Mixon, they interview the coach. It's Mick Mixon, Eugene Robinson, and Jim Zoki. Jim Zoki's got to take over, man. He's great. He's fantastic. I like Jim Zoki a lot. But I thought they had pushed Eugene completely out. But it turns out he's part of these broadcasts. Yeah, but you're right. Tepper is, I don't know. And I don't even know if it's smart moves. It almost feels Wall Street-y.
Like, look at the people that, like, Max is gone. What's the other guy that was there for a while that was like he was almost a goofy guy. He was I want to say Will, but it's two people that were a big part of that media team that were basically no longer a part of it pretty quickly after Tepper's
now it's all
tenure.
now the media team is now run by, who's the guy that ran Black and Blue Review?
That's going to be Bill Voth.
Bill Voth. Bill Voth is in charge there.
Yeah.
100% in charge. 100%. And Darren Gant is his boy. And you know what? Darren Gant's good at his job, too.
Yeah.
But the Panthers media site is just Black and Blue Review with Panthers.com on it now. Like, they do the same exact shit. The snap counts, it is Black and Blue. You can tell it's Bill Voth. It's Darren Gantz is number one, and they have like 2 other people. And then everything else is kind of media. You know what? They got to bring us in. We need bring us in for the freshness. Wait until Cody Lashney and Tony Dunn argue like a marital couple. What day of the week do we argue on? Friday, where we go to where are we gonna go to eat for dinner?
And then I bring up a suggestion, and you're like, no, anywhere but there.
Let's just go.
And then I'm like, all right, then let's go to this place. And you're like,
we're not going anywhere. Well, now we're just gonna stay at home and eat Hungry Man's. All right.
Internet wife over here.
Can we ice some fools up?
I don't know. Can we?
Yeah. I mean, I got one, and it's not that great, but actually it is the greatest. So who wants to go first? I'll go first if you want me to.
Go first.
All right, my first one is this. If you haven't seen The Wire, folks, like, I'm sorry, I've watched it. I had just started rewatching it again, and it might be the 5th time I've watched this show. The Wire. If you fuck with if you fuck with TV and serial dramas and things that revolutionize TV, The Wire is the number 1 show in the history of the world. Like, it really is. Like, it beats Breaking Bad's ass. The Wire set the tone for what the new era of TV would be. So if you have not seen it, I tell you to ice up.
That's it? That's your only ice up?
That's it.
All right. So, okay, you have one?
I'll just do an honor of Greg, who was not able to be here tonight due to internet issues similar to mine. He sent one in there. Are you able to pull that from the group chat?
Yeah.
I'm just doing this for Greg. Greg wanted to talk about the fact that obviously we can all talk about what happened, and I'm sure everybody has a differing opinion about what was happening at the border with families being separated and all of this crazy stuff that was happening over the past few years. But it's being said that the current administration is trying to work out that families that were impacted by that are going to get a payout from the U.S. government of $450,000.
They must have missed where they put the colon and the dot.
No, dude.
He's quoting the Wall Street Journal. Dude, nothing surprises me anymore. Dude.
So $450,000 to yeah, basically it's a pain and suffering thing for the families that were separated, right? But I get where I think that Greg's biggest problem with this is how we treat our service members who are currently, like, if you were to die as in the service of the military for the United States of America, your family would only get $400,000, right? That's not like it's this small amount, but your family would get $400,000, which is $50,000 less than they're paying illegal immigrants that were separated at the border.
And they are also serving your country and doing something that is remarkably admirable. I'm not saying that these other people aren't
deserve something.
Right. But at the same time, like, it's not like they were just saying, holding a flag up. Like, they were really serving the country.
Right. So, but that was Greg's ice up for tonight. So, ice up the, I guess, Biden administration, which I think we can all look at Biden at this point.
Really gonna pass? Do you think that's just like a statement? There's no way that really.
Bro,
is,
I don't know.
We can't even get American citizens can't even get reasonable health care. How are we gonna be paying non-citizens $400,000?
I've learned to just not believe anything
I could
read on the news.
Bro,
but
I'm so over that. I'm at the point where I am neither Republican nor liberal or anything. Like, I am at this point, like, I'm just living my life for myself and my family at this point in time.
I know, because I just live in my little circle, bro.
Yeah.
I stopped even paying attention to the news and the internet. I do have one more slight ice up. The end to the movie Dune. Have you guys seen Dune?
Yeah.
Yes. Beautiful.
Yeah.
What, you hated it?
No, loved the movie. I thought the ending was underwhelming. No, I just think the ending was underwhelming. And that's how kind of ice that up is like, you can tell us we're going to have 6 more movies that are going to be part of the Dune sequel or whatever, 6 trilogy, whatever you would fucking call it. But, I mean, can you not make the ending a little bit more
understandable or satisfactory?
Like, the whole movie was so awesome, and then the ending was just like,
the reason why is they're billing this like this is this generation's version of Star Wars and Lord of the Rings.
Well, if it is, look,
these are going to be the big time trilogy movies.
I teach students how to write, not how to write, like I'm a super writing teacher, but it's part of. And the beginning and the end is where the money is made. I'm sorry. Like, that's what I tell all my students about a paper. The beginning and the end is where your money is made. If the beginning sucks, your audience, bleh, right? If the end sucks, bleh. Like, you can win all the other aspects. And that's what I think Dune did. Dune won every possible aspect. Except for an underwhelming ending. Like, the last note of the movie was kind of boring.
Yeah,
just this hand fight, and all of a sudden now he's part of this for whatever. Like, it was just that. What do they call him?
The
I'm
Fremen.
confused. I'm confused on a
Called him
couple
a
of things.
falafel, didn't I?
Like I was confused on one part with like where the guy that he killed was supposed to be his friend. That am I wrong in that? Like, isn't that what they talked about? Like he in his visions, that guy was supposed to be his friend, and like
The really confusing part of it is that Paul Atreides sees visions of the future, but none of them are set in stone. And he sees different visions of the future. And that's not very well said
The
in the
whole movie
movies.
was great. No, that's the ending.
But that's
sucked,
what's
man.
happening.
They were
though,
just
right?
like,
So that's
"Oh,
why
you're part of our tribe now."
But that's why
That
you
was
see
it.
him like fighting a guy that he ends up killing.
And he
then
thought the
was, like,
girl, he
mentored
thought the
and
girl was
ninja.
gonna stab him, right? Like
Yeah,
the
but he
first
didn't die that way.
iteration, and then he realized that was too simplistic of an interpretation. The whole movie was awesome. Like I'm all into it. Like I was so into it. Like I was real. I mean, it was 2 hours and 35 minutes. So it's not like they just. It was a shit ending, dude.
Yeah, I mean, all right. So I have a fun one. You ready for this one? It's a
Yeah.
fun
let's do
one.
it.
I think it's the funnest one that I've had in a while, just because it shows you how crazy this fucking life that we live is. Some of you may have already heard about this, but earlier this year, the Texas Longhorns hired a coach by the name of Jeff Banks.
I like
And
this.
and if
It's
you
the
don't
Pole
know,
Assassin shit.
and if you don't know who Jeff
love him.
Banks is, well, let me tell you a little bit about him.
He's the
This
nerdiest
man,
looking
this
dude
man
ever.
left his wife and kids in order to be with a stripper named Pole Assassin. Now, Pole Assassin, if you know anything about her, she was once on Jerry Springer show as a stripper, and she had been like renowned as a stripper, one of the best strippers in the world. I hate that Tony left for this because I have a great video to show. But the interesting thing about this story is that Pole Assassin, as her name warrants, has a friend with her while she's performing. And she performs, feast your eyes, with a pet monkey. Okay,
Oh,
she performs with a pet monkey as a part of her show, dude. And it's like it's been a thing of hers for a while. So anyway, remember the Texas Longhorn coach is with this woman, right? So they had a haunted mansion at their house. Well, one of the children comes up to the door, and I guess the monkey is out there, and the child spooked the monkey, and the monkey started attacking the child and ended up biting into the kid's neck and like grabbing on. They had to pry the monkey off of the child's neck like it was like attached on to the child. I don't know what will be the results of this, but dude, when you leave your wife and family for a stripper, that's bad enough, man. But then you leave it for a stripper who owns a monkey who almost mauls a trick-or-treater to death, dude.
I'm so confused by this entire thing. My goodness, yeah, ice up to. I mean, I guess the kid really. You need to get some ice on that. Those wounds maybe get swelling down. But yeah, that's like one of those stories you read and you're like, oh, this is just National Enquirer bullshit. But that's fucking real. That's insane,
dude. It's so indicative of how stupid parts of our world are, man. That you read a story like that and that's something that really happened.
It's so like how do you hire a guy like that if you're the Texas Longhorns? You're like, you know what? This guy seems like a guy that we want teaching our youth.
Yeah, I couldn't even imagine. Tony, you walked out at the best part. I had a video for you.
I saw it. I've already seen it.
You seen the monkey on the pole and everything?
Yeah, I've seen it. Sorry, I was about to. Man, all these hours, I'm getting older. Prostate's getting smaller. Or bigger.
All right, but that's it, man.
Bigger. All right.
Game
all right,
picks.
so the Carolina Panthers are going to be playing the New England Patriots not too long from now. We're going to have a lot of content coming to you about that. Cody and I are going to have to debate some things. I've been trying to think about some. I want the listeners to submit debate topics at hashtag C3 debates. One word, hashtag C3 debates. What do you guys want us to argue over? We've done some fun things like best Quentin Tarantino movie. I think that we're gonna have to, Cody, you're gonna have to go and watch Die Hard.
Ooh,
you have to.
You've never watched Die Hard?
No, he has. It's just been a long time, so you have to you have to watch it with this question in mind: is it a Christmas movie? That will be a debate this year, and I have a firm opinion on that. What do you guys think would be? What
if we shared the same opinion?
Well, you know what? Then we debate that. And then we just, we've had similar opinions on the show before. What do you think? What's your scariest Halloween movie? I know it's a little late. We didn't do debate my take, but my son, my son is the oldest of my kids, and he actually is the least invested in his dad. He's oh, his dad, and that's fun. But he likes scary movies, and so you're I recommended a movie to him. You recommend. He's like, not scary. But what's your scariest Halloween? Well, we just had Halloween. What's the scariest scary movie?
If you've never seen it before, I'll give you mine since I'm not there. It's gonna be Paranormal Activity. The first time I ever watched that was fucking terrifying.
All right.
I would say, listen, I don't know if it's the scariest movie of all time, but can I just give you a recommendation for
or your favorite
horror movie? There is a movie that you can all watch right now on Netflix called The Platform. And dude, let me tell you.
I've seen that where they gotta go up and down and
dude, but look,
it's fucking creepy.
Dude, it's creepy even in the concept too. And I won't spoil anything.
You eat this cake. Eat the cake. Eat the cake.
Yeah, and you have to hurry, and then you can't save any food in your pocket, and then you don't know what level you're gonna. Look, it's on.
And then you can pee on the guy. It's
yeah. You can spit on the food, dude. Listen, if you're in, it's not like a traditional horror movie, in that it has a ton of blood and guts and gore, or even jump scares. It's a Spanish movie. It's on Netflix. Go check it out. It's called The Platform. Fucking incredible.
For me, it's clearly Leprechaun. Anyway,
the Leprechaun.
Yeah, the first one that had Kevin Bacon in it.
You know what movie
Jennifer Aniston in it.
Yeah.
And,
you know what movie I was too young to watch that I saw too early? The Blair Witch Project. I remember just being young, but remember I might have been 7 or 8 years old when I first saw that movie, and that fucking freaked the shit out of me, dude. And it was
because they just took a little camera.
Yeah, but that's why it was so terrifying, though.
Yeah,
it felt
it was
a real
like somebody really doing it. It's kind of like Unsolved Mystery. I'm more scared by real shit than I am by fake shit.
Right.
Well, or at least I was when I was a kid. You want to really scare me? Tell me about the pedophilic neighbor beside me, not the demon that comes out of the ground. Like, I'm like, all right, that demon. I don't give a fuck about that. Like, I do care about. Do you remember Unsolved Mysteries? I would be freaked. We watch that shit. And these motherfuckers, I'll be like, oh my God, I hear the window. I was like, there are robbers outside.
I just remembered what I think is the scariest movie that I've ever seen.
For me, it's
my
The Ring.
favorite, and it's my favorite horror movie, The Exorcism of Emily Rose. If you haven't seen that movie, it is fantastic. The Exorcism of Emily Rose. I'm not really even into horror like hardcore like that. I'm like a sometime horror fan.
Yeah.
Horror, but like
the Exorcism I don't love it. I don't hate it though.
Really
you know what? I enjoy it every time. Like you ever seen a scary movie and not loved? All right, here I'll tell you the best scary movie experience. All right, so my wife and I have been together for a long time. I'm gonna be turning 40 next week, November 11th. Anyway, we've been together since I was 21 years. 21 years we've been together. We've been married for 15. Yeah, man. But like we've got a lot of memories. But in the early stages of us dating, earlier stages of us dating, I went with her parents and her to visit her grandfather in Athens, Georgia. He's passed away. He lived to 96. He was a wonderful person. So we go there, and we're not married. We're young and dating. You know what I mean? Like I had to sleep in the basement. Like I literally had to sleep in the basement of this giant house. Right, and the basement was creepy as fuck, but it wasn't creepy at the time. And this was before, like, you could just read everything on the internet. This was probably like. This may have been like 2002. Whenever, actually, just look it up. You want to know exactly what the date was, is when the movie The Ring came out. And we were bored. We were just sitting around with our parents and this and that. And like we said, we got to get out of this mug. And we said, we're going to go see a movie. And we had we just went and saw the movie that was showing next. It was like, all right, it's 3:30. We want to go to a 4:30 movie. And we went and saw The Ring. And we got the popcorn. We were sitting down. We had no idea what this. Like, we didn't know if it was a comedy. We didn't know if it was whatever. We sat down and it was just like, it was scary as shit. And then I had to go and sleep in the basement of this 3-story house. This old creepy ass motherfucker. And I was like, if this phone rings, I got to leave the state of Georgia. It was tough on me. It was fun. Sometimes about this anything, it's whether if it's scary or awesome or great, it's actually about the moment you experience it. Yeah. Really is like if you see the funniest movie ever, it might be in a special time in your life that you actually saw it. And that was, at that moment, the scare. I wish it would have scared me out of getting married. What the fuck?
Lord.
Oh my God. All right.
Let's get out of here before Tony ruins his marriage.
I will. Or do you want me to keep this podcast going until 3 hours? We were almost done.
Do it by yourself.
We almost did it at 10:45. Anyway, we're out of here. It's the C3 Panthers Podcast, brought to you by Carolina Chronicles. CarolinaCatChronicles.com. The worst salesman in the world. His name's Tony Dunn. You see those shirts? I got some of them. Why don't you buy some of them? That's it. Cody Lashney, my arch nemesis, my brother from another mother, my wheelman, my guy that I will debate tomorrow night on Debate My Take. Tell them how they can follow you.
Yeah, you can follow me on Twitter at Cody Lax. You see it right by my face right there. Hit me up on Twitter. I'm good at interacting with people when they interact with me. You can find all my written work on drafttech.com. where I write first and second round comments for the Carolina Panthers on drafttech.com. And every Friday at 7 p.m., tune in for the Friday free-for-all, where you can join the StreamYard and come in and hang out on a Friday and talk Carolina Panthers and football in general and tell us what you think about this football team. That's it for me, Tony.
CK, most diligent man with the phone in hand. Bestest voice in the internets. How can they follow your work?
You can find me on the interwebs at Twitter, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube. Code Dizzle Allen is what you're going to be looking for to get me. And, like I said, just come check out. We do some streams and keep an eye out again for the Madden simulation each week. Last week was epic. We'll get it again this week here for the Patriots. And I usually wait until after the Wednesday press conferences to get an idea of who's actually going to be in, who's going to be out. So that way we get a more accurate representation of that. But just be keeping your eyes on the YouTube. The viewership on that's died down a little bit, but I think it's because it's it's just kind of we were on a 4-game losing streak, so I don't think people were super excited about watching them. Hopefully that'll change.
We need kind of the Panthers to either suck monumentally or be awesome monumentally. I mean, that really for our show and our clicks, and not that that's what we do it for. I don't even care. I mean, I do, and I mean, like it is rewarding when a homie says we like your show.
Yeah,
I do like that. But if we go 7-9, this podcast has the peoples that are always here.
The diehards.
Yeah, like the fam, our fam. But if we went, 12 and what is it now? 12-5, we'd be inviting new peoples in. But if we went 4-13, like it's better for us to go 4-13 or 12-5 than for us to go 7-9 for our show,
right?
Because the diehards are here no matter what.
That's right.
Tim, I'll put the link. Look, here's the link right now. I'm gonna put it in the live chat to the swag. I am gonna start promoting that. And other than that, I'll see you tomorrow night, Cody. Let's go. Yeah.
Until tomorrow night, C3 fam, keep pounding.
Looking for a fun way to win up to 25 times your money this basketball season? Test your skills on Prize Picks, the most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. Just select 2 or more players, pick more or less on their projected stats, and place your entry. You could turn $10 into $250. Right now, Prize Picks will match your first deposit up to $100. Just visit prizepicks.com/fan and use code FAN. That's code FAN at prizepicks.com/fan.
Must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for restrictions and details.